look good.
You look good. You
feel good.
You look good. It is you. It is you. Like that.
Like that.
Like that.
Listen, welcome to another episode of Just Win, where we're unlocking the mental power and we're dealing with everyday people. And when I say everyday people, I'm talking about people that matter. You know, it's not just about celebrities or famous people. We have people that do great things behind the scene. And I'm so honored and blessed. I don't even know how he got here. First of all, you know, I'm so honored and blessed to have my brother, my Rose brother.
The Rose brother. The Rose boys. Shout out to the Rose boys for sure.
Out of the A. Shout out to the A.
Man, East Side, Decatur, where it's greater.
And we in the building. You know, and this has been an amazing week, first of all.
Yes, it has.
And
it truly has.
An amazing week.
It truly has.
But I'm just gonna get right to it. Man, listen. You did Super Bowl on Sunday. Why was you in LA in the morning?
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Yeah.
Cutting Dwayne's hair.
Ah, man. Glory be to God, man. I got on that flight. I promise you, man. I got up out of New Orleans. Yes, did Super Bowl Sunday with Kendrick Lamar, and immediately following, it was a mad dash to the hotel to get your bags, get your things together, because you got to get to the airport so that you can get on this 2:30 a.m. flight.
Okay, so this is what Just Win is all about. Okay.
Just win.
Just winning. So the reason why I bring that story up is not because I'm trying to showcase that you work with Kendrick Lamar, but I do want to showcase you work with Kendrick Lamar and that you work with Dwayne.
Yeah, yes I do.
But in between showcasing the Super Bowl and a big photo shoot at the studio.
Don't forget the Grammys right before that.
The Grammys was before.
Yeah.
So okay. So let's.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, I want to showcase to our audience and to the people that are watching.
Yeah.
Not just the Super Bowl and Kendrick, and not Dwayne and his photo shoot. I want to showcase time management. Talk about your time management skills and what that means to you.
Well, time management means, if not everything to me. You know what I mean? And not to say that I am even a guru in my own personal life at the moment. I am just a work in progress on it, because it was never something that I was taught, nor was I good at, in my prior years. But at this very point, it's everything, because that's the most valuable commodity that we have.
So you went, Super Bowl's over. You were at the Super Bowl.
I was at the Super Bowl.
Walk us through that.
I'm at the Super Bowl. We go out, and all of it is time, because time is even in the Super Bowl performance.
Right.
It's 13 minutes. That's a 13-minute performance. I never knew that for real until I participated. Like, oh, it's only 13 minutes? I don't know why I thought it was 20. You know what I mean? But it's 20 minutes total.
Right.
With consideration for a setup and breakdown. But there's only 13 that the actors on doing what they do. So we get done immediately with the show. Everybody's, running off the field. We go do our thing, you know what I mean? And my job then is now, okay, job is done. I need to get home, because there's another job that has to be, completed. So time management said for that to be the case, and I don't know what today is going to look like.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is my first time attending such an event. I don't know what the traffic is going to look like. We pretty much knew that we weren't going to stay for the rest of the game. So, you may not be dealing with as much traffic, but you don't know. So I packed with my time management in mind. I packed the night before.
Okay.
I packed all of my things the night before, had my clothes laid out.
To the airport.
To head to be ready to go.
To be ready to go to the airport.
I need to be ready to go. So had my clothes laid out that I was gonna wear throughout the day, the following day, but everything was packed, ready to go. Left my toiletry bag out because that was it packed it, but left it out.
So you didn't go to the Super Bowl party?
Oh no party.
Just making sure.
There was no. The party was at the airport.
But this is what people don't get an opportunity to see. We always celebrate
Right.
the end results, but it's a lot of things that go in that people don't get to see behind the scenes. And you are a person of behind the scenes because you prepare people to go out to be seen.
Right.
The end result.
For sure.
The process.
Without a doubt. Yeah, a big part of the process, you know what I mean? Because I do understand that the value of a person's aesthetic, is important. They want to look good because I know how I feel when I get a haircut, man.
Right.
Hey, man, I'm making extra stops. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop by this store real quick. Somebody got to see me.
Taking extra photos.
Yeah, all kind of stuff. Hey, brother, how you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? The conversation a little longer. So it's like now incorporating that into the people that I work with and what they do. I only know and I can only imagine how they feel when they step in front of a camera knowing I'm good.
Yeah, the barbers have true impact.
For sure.
I know how I feel when I get out your chair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, listen.
Yeah.
I want to take every photo. I'm trying to get on every show.
And you look good. You look good when you get it, man. Yeah. I feel good.
I feel good.
You know what I'm saying? From every side. You know what I'm saying?
When I walked into the studio, I was blown away because I did not expect you to be there. Already cutting, talking, communicating with Dwayne, getting him ready. I was blown away. I was like, bro, what you do? How you get here?
Right.
So it's very impressive to see that in real time, in real life, and that there are true responsibilities to being one place and then getting to the next place and being professional. And that lets your clients know that you can handle working with multiple clients.
Yes.
In my field, in basketball, and me working with the top players in the world, I have to do that.
Yeah.
But people only see the wins. They don't see the early morning flight. I got to be at the airport at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
They don't see that I had to pack up the night before.
Yeah.
They don't see that once I get on the flight, I got my computer out, I'm watching film, checking emails, sending out invoices, communicating with my team.
Yes.
When I land, I'm going straight to the next destination
I'm on the way.
to get to work. I'm on the way, and I'm on time.
And I'm on time.
Way ahead of time.
Which early is on time.
Right.
And on time is late.
Bro, I'm never like that.
Yeah.
I don't move like that.
Yeah,
So
no.
time management skills is very important, and that's why I was so impressed, bro. I was celebrating you, but I was so impressed with time management.
For sure.
And being a barber, a lot of times barbers are not the best time management guys.
Yeah.
Because they run their own company, unless, you're going to, obviously, you're going to the barbershop, but normally either you're running behind.
Yeah.
You got to wait
For
a few
sure.
minutes. And so it's the same thing with people being on time to their barber. So I really appreciate that story. And what I want to tap into, because I want to highlight who you're working with and what the things you're doing. But also, you're a unique individual.
Yes, sir.
Does barbers, or what type of adversity did you face to get where you are today?
Loaded question. For sure. But there were so many points of adversity that I could, think of in my mind that I have, dealt with, overcome throughout this journey.
Right.
And I feel like there is more to come, but
for sure.
It was all just training, for the adversity that I've experienced over time. I know one of the most impactful stories of adversity that I experienced, dealt with, me going to school, deciding to go to school. So like when I first started cutting hair, then that's what I say, cutting hair, because I was just cutting hair. I was, I think because I believe that there is a difference between a barber and a person that cuts hair.
Okay, first of all, what's the difference between a barber and someone that cuts hair?
The difference, in my opinion, is the intentionality that a person takes or an individual takes to extend their knowledge, extend their skill level, and extend a service. Because anybody can fade, but what person can make a client feel good in different facets of a service, whether it be conversation, empowering conversation, whether it be attention to the detail and tailor making each service to fit a client, because every service doesn't fit all.
Absolutely.
You may have your base that you go with in each and every service, but it's like, nah, I know him. He tends to be a little bit sensitive on this side. You know what I mean? So I can't use what I use on everybody else, because you have to understand that everybody's skin, is not the same. Some people deal with somebody may have softer skin, more sensitive skin. So it's a clipper that I know I can't use on this person, because these are my hitters. I can use these on someone who has, a little bit more of a firm skin foundation or base versus someone whose skin is a little bit softer.
Man, you sound like a doctor.
I'm a doctor too.
You sound like a doctor. You sound like you really paying attention to the detail.
Yeah.
But that could be the difference, because see me, I cut your hair.
Yeah.
I ain't looking for all of that.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna just cut you. I might just cut your ball.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just to make it easy on you, But at the end of the day, you have to be very intentional if you want to, be respected, in a certain level, because of that. And I was groomed by a lot of individuals. I took to a lot of individuals along my barbering career. That I took pieces like, oh man, I like how he do that, or I like what he do, and then you infuse, and
right.
You know what I'm saying, what each one of them has done that you appreciate, and you put them into what you're doing. So I feel like more than anything, that's what makes separates,
right?
A person who cuts hair from a person who is a barber, because there's a lot of history behind barbers that people don't know. You know what I mean? Like centuries ago, years ago. I mean, I don't quote me on the time frame, but barbers used to have multiple roles, many roles that they played when it came to service. Barbers used to be doctors for real. They used to pull teeth. They used to do a whole lot of things medically, as well as cut your hair and shave you. Prior,
right,
and over time, which is the signifying space of the red, white, and blue barber pole,
right?
That's medical. Those colors are medical indicators. And even with the fact that it spirals, it's in the medical field, like their symbol is a snake, two snakes spiraling around. That's the barber pole spiraling around. So over time, the role has changed, but the impact is still there.
A barber's impact is so important. I think some of the best barbers have the best listening skills in the world.
For sure.
But they also have the ability to keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
client confidentiality. Yeah, we ultimately play the role of a therapist sometimes, pseudo. You know what I mean? That's why I say it's intentional. The difference between a person that cuts hair and a person that barbers understands. Hey man, there is an account that I have to take with this person that's trusting me with the most important part of the body I truly believe is, you're dealing with a person's crown. Like the crown, if you kill the head, the body will follow.
Right.
So if I can also, while cutting your hair, giving you a fade, whatever your service choice may be, lining up your beard, whatever, if I can also impart some level of wisdom, some level of encouragement, or man, I'm the type of person and professional that if you sit in my chair, there's gonna be some revelation because I believe in God. I believe, in my spirituality, my religion. I believe in Christ, and because of that belief, it has shaped and molded my perspective on life. So, and I share it, with everyone who's sitting in my chair in some way, form, or fashion. Not pushing my religion on them.
Right.
However, I can give you, what I've gained from my experience with what I believe in, and it gives people encouragement. It gives them hope, and without me forcing my religion or what I believe all the way, like just really pounding it on your head like that. But at the end of the day, it's been very, very helpful to take that accountability of what you are saying to people and what you are imparting on people. Because even when I started out earlier, I remember not having that understanding of how important you are in a person's life. I would give out, real crazy information and suggestions and ideas just to get a rise out of the shop or to get a good laugh, And I remember somebody came back to me one day and was like, "Hey man, I tried what you said, man." I was like, "Oh, you went and did that?" I was really just, joking, bro. Dang. And right then, and that person was at a desperate space in his life. He was going through something very, very traumatic. And here I was with no accountability, no wisdom to understand that, no, this is the time where if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say it at all, or, be accountable and knowledgeable enough to know what position you need to hold in this person's life right now, because the cut is going to help him, but also the words of wisdom and guidance and instruction in this time can do the same.
Now, are you a barber like I'm a hooper? Like, in my trunk, I always keep a pair of hoop shoes. I keep my gym stuff ready to go.
Yeah.
Do you keep your clippers in your trunk?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. So typically, I do not. And here's the reason why. For the benefit of preserving my equipment. The benefit of preserving my equipment, also just the reality of it is where in my profession, I deal with a lot of professionals and a lot of people in the industry that I am in that have, dealt with shortcomings and misfortune with people breaking into their cars, stealing their whole kits.
You from the A, bro?
I'm from the A.
We ain't doing that out here in LA like that.
No, it's happening in LA. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they do that in LA. They do it anywhere. Hey man, people breaking in cars everywhere, Jack. You know what I mean? They'll say it don't matter.
What you driving?
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Exactly. Because I get, some compliments and everything on my car a lot of times. You know what I mean? And then here I am feeling like, oh, it's just a nice car, But it has, and my car has gotten broken into out here. Yeah, for sure. Which I'm glad. I do have some times where I'm lazy. I'm like, oh man, it's been a long day, man. I don't feel like unpacking all this equipment out my trunk. I'll come get it in the morning, But that was the time in particular where I didn't have it in my car. But then I don't want a chance where having to start all over. You know what I mean? I got my kit set up the way I like it. I have a routine when I pop that kit open. I'm gonna set this out. I know where it's at. Boom. And if I have to start all of that over, which of course you can do, but I would rather not, is an inconvenience that I don't have to when all I can do is take my kit out. And then plus it takes away from me adding my kit loading fee.
So I gonna get to the kid fee.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But when you talk about your kid, what goes into this kit? What does it entail? And what makes your kit special or different?
So what goes into the kit is what I need. You know, you have, you know, and with each and every client, it's different. Someone may have locks. Someone may have a low fade. You know, so going into my kit are, you know, the things that I may need for a particular service, whatever that may be. I know who's calling. And one thing that about me that I do, especially knowing if I have, or knowing that it may come up that someone I've never worked with may call for a service. One thing I don't mind doing is asking this new person, hey, send me a picture of you and the style that you want so that I know what I should be coming with, what I need to bring with me to make sure we can get the achieved look. You know, send me the picture of you with the best look that you've had, like the best time you felt like, oh man, this was the cut, this the one. Anytime anybody asks, hey, because I know you got one. If somebody
I got
say,
one. I got a cut. I like it. It's a number 9.
It's a number 9.
It's a number 9.
It's a number 9. Folks don't know about that number 9.
That number 9
and you
is
asked
good.
me one time about the number 9. You was like, man, because I told you, you know, I was cutting Dwayne. You said, what number is this? I said, oh, this is number 9. And then when I cut you, you was like, wait, what number is this? It's a number 9.
But it's a different number 9.
It's a yo number 9.
It was a different number 9.
It's a number 9.
Because he had a low. And then I had the hair, but I'm like, but it was smooth.
It's your number 9.
It's your smooth. Yeah. So with younger people coming up in the game, because I love to give game, and I love to share knowledge.
Right.
And, you know, you work with everyday people.
Yes, I do.
How did you progress from the barber shop in Atlanta to being the barber in LA?
Again, glory to God, bro. It's more than anything. I tell people all the time, I couldn't write my script no better than God has, you know, orchestrated everything that's taking place in my life, right? I'm not a good planner. You know, I've never been like a big planner, like 5-year plan type. Like, nah, I'm like, hey man, hey God, whatever you gonna do. So again, I mean, in addition to that, it was, you know, ordered steps, because I didn't even want to be a barber. I wasn't trying to be a barber. I just needed a couple dollars. You know, when I walked into a barbershop, I had been cutting my own hair in the bathroom, and then that progressed to me cutting my little brother's hair in the bathroom on the toilet, you know, which at that time it was a burden to me because I didn't feel like I was trying to get in these streets. I'm trying to run around. My brother, you know, come up to me with the puppy dog eyes, bro, can I get a cut? I'm like, oh man. You know, and I'm like, it's more of a burden than anything because, I mean, what really pushed me to even cut my own hair was the fact that my mother was my barber. So my mom was, her health began to fail. She was our barber. My mom was a barber and cosmetologist. And when her health began to decline, she ended up, you know, not dealing with the hair industry as much, even though she loved it. And it was a part of her passion, it just wasn't a thing that she was able to do. So eventually I'm like, man, I still gotta look good, you know. Right. And I picked up my mom's clippers and started cutting my own hair. You know what I mean? I like, because at least I can look good, you know what I mean, on my own accord. Right. And there was some trial and error in there. And so years down the road, cut my brother's hair, my little brother's hair, and had a lot of people asking me for haircuts in my neighborhood. I always told people, no, I'm good. I'm good enough and confident enough to mess me up. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to put nobody else in this predicament that could possibly take place. And I had started cutting my first son's hair when he was born, and then I ended up working a part-time security job with a company, and I was being part-time wasn't enough money. It was not enough resources being a part-time security guard, and I was like, man, I need extra money, and I need to do something that I can really control the time on. And I was like, well, what can I do? I was like, well, I've been cutting my own hair. I got these clippers. I'm gonna walk into a barbershop and see if they'll let me work. And the first barbershop I walked into, he was like, yeah, sure, come on in. You can start Monday. I was like, all right, cool. And now it was funny because I had a home kit clipper set. A home kit clipper set, and I didn't know that there was a difference between clippers that you buy out of Walmart versus clippers you buy from a supply store, barber supply store. Difference. Yeah, so I came in there, popped my joint open, set it up on the station. I remember the owner was like, hey, what you doing with that? I was like, sure, I'm about to lace these boys out. What you mean? He was like, man, not with those. He was like, because I learned that even in the details, a corded clipper from the store, or the barber supply store, has a round cord, and a corded clipper from, say, a Walmart has a flat cord. The round cord is designed for you to be able to deal with higher power coming from like a power source for a long period of time. The flat cord, you'll burn out quick, and I learned.
Right. They get hot. Clippers get hot quick.
You only got one haircut in. This ain't that. Yeah. But which was funny because I found out working in the shop immediately how bad I was. I was not good. Oh, I was terrible. All I was used to doing was doing a low cut with a line up on it, and you realize when you work in a barber shop, a place that is made for this craft, how many styles that people actually are wearing, temp fades and, mohawks at the time. And when they walking in and I'm like, oh yeah, people are wearing these. And they asking for these, and I don't know how to achieve them, and I'm not
study. So you really and truly, you become a true student in your craft.
Yes, sir.
And through being a student, your work ethic, adjusting, getting the right supplies. Yeah, you got to have the right supplies.
You have to.
I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, a guy came to me and was talking about getting into the basketball industry. And then after our conversation, he asked me if I had 2 basketballs for the bar to go over to train some kids. And I'm like, there's no one rule in the world. There ain't no way you can develop players and not have the right supplies.
Yeah, and that's funny. I remember this older guy we used to work with at a warehouse. I kept asking him for equipment one day, things that I needed to do the job. And the old man turned around to me. He said, son, where are your tools? Where are your tools? Like, where are your tools?
Why are you not prepared?
Why are you not prepared? Why don't you have what you need to do the job? Where are your tools? And I was like, man, and I kept that with me, over the years because of just how funny it was when he said it, but then just how real it was too. Right. And me checking myself on, you keep going and asking someone outside of you for tools that you need to do your job when you had the same amount of time to prepare for the job that you knew you had to do, just like they did.
What's your daily sacrifice?
Daily sacrifice. That's a great question.
What are you giving up? Because you look good right now.
Okay.
In 2025, I didn't see you in December.
Yeah, you didn't.
I seen you in 2025 January.
Yeah.
You're like a whole nother person.
Yes, sir.
You didn't look comfortable.
Yeah.
So, what are you giving up? What's your sacrifice?
My daily sacrifice is my old self.
Okay.
My old self. Because there's still pieces of my old self that I have to continue to die, kill and allow to die. So pieces of my old self, recognizing what pieces of my old self are still resident and prevalent in my day-to-day and say, okay, yeah, you got to go, And sometimes, my old self fight back. You know what I mean? He ain't trying to go. And I get it.
Yeah. That's the mental mindset though.
Yeah.
Like you wake up to win. Like I woke up to win today.
Yeah.
And winning is focusing on where my feet is. Like like being present. Being present, acknowledging each situation and what I can control and what I can't control.
Yeah.
And when I think about like how I would handle a client that would be either tardy or they can't make it that day. And like for a barber in your field, I feel like that got to be one of the worst things that can happen because your time is all you have.
For sure. Without a doubt.
How do you handle that mentally? Me being the client, I call you up. Hey, Nado, listen, I got a flat tire.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna make it. And you already move, your schedule around. You got clients already lined up. Mentally, how do you handle that?
Mentally, it's over. Like I say, when you do a profession so long, you learn the things that could possibly happen in a day, in a service, or whatever the case may be, and the experience has prepared you. Now, where I used to get flustered about it, like, what's going on, man? You tripping? I need my money, because I, in my opinion, what I feel like is if a client cancels, I don't, especially when it's so short notice, I miss out on the opportunity to have gained some revenue.
Absolutely.
Now, not to negate the idea that if I cancel on a client, they do not get the service that they intended to get, but they still keep their funds. You still keep your funds to whether you do have another, barber that or professional that you could go spend that money with, or spend on something else. You still keep that.
I always had this visual of a barber sitting at the chair, waiting on the client to come in. Have the barber cape ready, the kit laid out, and then get that call.
Yeah,
man. I've been in the other chair where I'm looking. I like to see how is he gonna handle it.
So, and to answer that question, how I handle it now, is I'm like, oh great, now I have time to do something else. I'm going to utilize this time, not sit around sulking about the thing I can't control.
Yeah.
But what I can control is now, because my services tend to go an hour and a half.
Right.
Because I do full service with hot towels, shampoos,
wash,
paper, everything. Before I spend 25 to 30 minutes maybe at the shampoo bowl doing all of these prepping things before you ever sit in a chair. So with that hour and 30, I can do an hour and 30 minutes.
Right.
Okay, well, let me go. I had some supplies that I needed to go grab. Hey, you know what? I had a couple of items that I needed for my home. Or, these emails that I was going to wait to do when I got off, I can do them now.
Right.
There's so much that can be done, versus sitting around waiting on a person who may have actually dealt with something that was an inconvenience to them as well. That prevented them from getting to you,
That's what I call pivoting.
Pivot.
And a lot of times that situation can ruin somebody's day.
For sure.
And that type of energy could be given off to the next client.
Yep.
Because you throw it off. Like I'm telling you, if you want to piss somebody off, don't show up and they ain't got the money for it.
Right.
Oh man, you got to feel away.
Yeah.
And so these are things that, in my industry, you learn to be very swift. You learn how to communicate effective, and you learn how to adjust.
Yeah.
Because life is life.
Yeah.
People do have things happen in their life, and people that communicate effective all the time, that the story's real.
Yeah.
So when the story's real, it doesn't make you feel away.
Yeah.
If you question a character, it can make you feel away because like, hey. Now I ain't messing with you no more. I'm gonna cut you off, and my services can't go to you no more because you done wasted.
For sure,
you done wasted my time.
Right.
Now, have you ever cut off a client before? Now, because clients cut off. Hey man, the barber that messed me up. I ain't going back to him no more. They throw salt on your name.
Yeah.
Have you ever cut a client off?
Only once. Only once in my 14 and a half year career. Only once have I cut someone off. everybody else who I may have not, cared to service, they've fallen off, and it was just but cut someone off. It was actually a conversation where, hey man, I just really don't believe this is gonna work. I think that there's a better, fit for you out there somewhere,
right.
And it's a professional way that you can. And I don't even mind answering the questions and why I feel like this is not going to be a good fit. And I'm going, I give you the best cut you ever had in your life.
And then send you
on your way.
I think the higher you go, the more you get an opportunity to choose your clientele.
For sure.
And you want clientele to choose you, but also if you can align with people.
Yeah.
That you want to be around, and that inspire you, that help, can help you as well as you help them. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful partnership.
Yeah,
and that's what I look at.
For sure.
Like for me, I can build anyone, right? But I've realized, and I made a choice to say I would rather give my time and my energy to someone that craves what I crave and don't have too many distractions, because the person that has a distraction normally gets the most energy.
Yeah.
And the person that's no distraction is sometimes limited on the energy that you give them. And so when I look at clientele and I look at like who I want to work with because of the character, the person that they are, how they locked in, where they want to go.
Yeah.
Like it has become a thing for me to like really pay attention and not just someone's name or like what's their status. That doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, true.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
But what matters is do I see the vision and do I believe in them? And once I do, man, I'm locked in.
Can our purposes and our visions align with one another? I agree with that wholeheartedly. Because I did grow to a point where it's different in client attraction,
right,
as well as retention, as well as who I get an opportunity to choose to be alongside.
When you say client retention, in a service industry, it's certain things that you want to do to retain the particular type of client. Walk me through what that looks like for you when you're talking about client retention. Like, right. I want to keep this client.
So that, for me, client retention, for one, I feel like one of the biggest things that you have to understand in client retention is who do you want to be a client. Identify that first. And then understand, when I say that, not one individual, but the demographic in which you want to retain. So understand what the demographic that you are seeking to retain is accustomed to. Like if you want, the wealthy. Like the wealthy are used to luxury. They're used to exclusivity. They're used to, cleanliness and timeliness. So understand what that looks like and how you can incorporate it into how you operate on a day to day. And then once you get that basis down on just those things, then it goes into personalization. Not being so cemented in something that you cannot alter it to fit, adjust someone else. When it comes down to the learning a client and learning what they like to talk about, what are they into, what
type of coffee they like,
what type of coffee do you like? All of these things are important so that you can decide, okay, how to go about it and what to do to make sure that it is a consistency. When these people are these individuals are deciding to patronize.
I like that. There's power in consistency.
Yes.
And I'm just thinking
Power
about
and inconsistency as well.
you think about the power and inconsistency, and you think about duplication. Like when you get that cut, man, can I get that same cut?
I want it.
Like, can you just drop that on?
Yeah, please,
please. Can you please be consistent,
please? And that's
there's power in consistency.
There's power in consistency, and that's one thing that I had to learn in my early on in my career is do it again.
Yep. Can you rinse and repeat? I've created a system, and the system has so many different roadmaps in the system. I've looked at every possibility, situation, and scenario that can happen, and then I work backwards from what the end product should look like, all the way to what the beginning should look like. And I've created a system that I can develop other people to become as sharp or better than I am in my profession. Have you created a system to duplicate or to teach younger barbers coming up?
Yeah, so
to become better.
Created like not necessarily like a curriculum, but I really believe my story is my system. My story is my system, you know, because it's truth. It's my truth. Whether it be life, I mean, if anybody has time, I'll tell you about my journey, and then I'll tell you how that translated into my work. You know, my life is my system. You know, my journey and my path and my story is my system. Now, not necessarily a drawn-out curriculum. At some point, I will sit down and do such a thing, because I do believe in teaching what's been taught. Right. You know, and lending what's been learned. Right. So I do plan on doing that right now at this very moment, because of the way life is and me still experiencing the things that I'm experiencing and moving in the way
You're still developing.
I'm still developing.
Still developing.
You
that's what Just Win is about, bro.
For sure.
It's about a continual development. I'm still a student. I'm a continual student. Yeah. And I will always be a student and a sponge. And I learn from people. I learn from you. Yeah. I learn from people in different fields. It don't matter. I'm watching and I'm like, wow, that was beautiful. Right. I love to celebrate. Right. And I love to celebrate the success of other people. And that's something that makes me extremely excited about life, because I don't know everything. Yeah. I don't know enough.
And that's fun when you think about it. It's so fun to know that I don't know everything.
I've been coaching, teaching, counseling over 20 years. It's so much more for me to learn.
So much more.
How I communicate with people, the way I maintain relationships, you know, really thinking before speaking, and making sure everyone that encounters me, I leave a little bit of me with them, and they can continue to say, man, he's a fantastic individual. Yeah. And this is a character that I want. So that is very important to me. And that's how I'm going to carry myself every day. If you can leave us with something today, what would you leave us with?
Oh, man. Can I leave you with two things?
You can leave us with as many things as you want.
Hey, man. Hey, so the first thing I would I'd leave with is, you know, have a belief. Because I don't, like I say again, push my religion or anything on anybody, but I believe in God and I believe in Jesus, and that is my foundation. You know, like before I get up, man, before I walk out the door, man, I'm on my knee. All right, God, I pray. I don't know what's outside that door, but I know you do. You know, like that's my faith, and it leads and guides me and goes before me and prepares a way.
Your faith is very important to you.
My faith, this is everything to me. My faith is not important. It's everything to me. I am nothing without it. You know, that's period, point blank. That's the main thing I would leave with anybody, man. Believe in something And I know what I believe in, and it's gotten me this far. Like I promise you, everything that I can attest my growth and my elevation to leads back to the promises that were given to me through my beliefs, my faith. And secondly, what I'll say, good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good gets better and your better gets best.
Where you get that from?
Hey man, when I was in hair school, one of these speakers that came to motivate us and encourage us and give them their story and their hair journey said that, and it stuck with me.
I like that. Say it one more time. So that this is something that will be a part of our 1 minute to win segment,
okay,
which would be good.
Yeah.
And it's good for inspiration and motivation. And so this is a story. Mm-hmm. This is what was taught to you by another guy at Barber school.
Cosmetologist.
Cosmetology.
I went to cosmetology school. Okay. I'm a licensed master cosmetologist. So that means I'm versatile, you know. However, the guy told me, good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good gets better, but then your better gets best.
I like that. Hey guys, listen, this has been another.
One more thing. I wanted to say, man, brother, I appreciate you for having me on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love what you're doing with your space to just win. We just winning. You know
it's just winning, bro. But you know, winning is something that people should see, but we really focus on all the adversity and what we go through, because it's not easy.
It's
bro. Not easy.
It's not, because when you see just win, people focus in on win, but don't know you actually mean I took some L's.
I took a lot of L's.
I took a lot of L's to just win.
Yep.
I took a lot of L's to just win. And I just want to say I appreciate you, man. It was one moment we shared recently last year. We were at the men's retreat, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were at the men's retreat. Shout out to D Wade, man, for putting that thing together. The men's wellness retreat, man. So beneficial, so impactful. A lot of great moments, a lot of great insight.
That men's retreat was amazing.
Amazing.
And the men's retreat was an opportunity to see you go through something.
Yeah. And
what we're talking about is at the men's retreat, we had ice baths. We had cold plunges. Cold plunges. And so with the cold plunge, being there, Donato had never been in a cold plunge before.
Never.
And he volunteered himself to go into the cold plunge with Dwayne and some other people. And watching him go into the cold plunge, they decided to go for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is a long time for someone that's never been in a cold plunge before. But I was there to support my brother.
Man.
And after the first 3 minutes, I started to see his face. I started to see the pain. And I started seeing Donato start to lift up like he was going to come up out of that cold plunge.
Yeah.
And I just, hey, man, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Relax. At this point, you have to really focus. And to go through that experience and then to watch you not get out the tub.
Right.
And to watch you endure it. And watch you control your breathing.
Yeah.
It taught me a lot about you. It showed that if I got down in a foxhole.
Yeah.
And we had to get busy on some people.
For sure.
I know for sure.
Yeah. I got you.
You got my back.
For sure.
Yeah, because you didn't quit.
Yeah.
And the only way that you learn that about someone is you got to see them go through it.
Yeah, for sure. You got to create those
moments.
Yeah.
And you didn't quit.
And I appreciate that, brother. And like I was saying before, the moment we shared was, if you weren't there coaching me and encouraging, you know what I mean, believing in me and something, you know, that I didn't believe that I could do, You know, because that was tough, man. It felt like, you know, somebody was stabbing my bones with knives multiple times. And I'm like, and initially, like I say, you were talking in this same calm tone. And I'm like, I don't want to hear none of that, bro. Stop touching me. Don't put your hands on me. Stop. I'm getting out. But one of the most impactful things that also happened outside of that, like I say, experiencing my brother helping me through something that was very difficult and new to me, is one of the brothers walked up to me at the end of it. He said, "Hey, bro, I just want to say, man, I appreciate you not getting out." The guy who was sitting to the right, he said, "I appreciate you not getting out that tub, because I saw you about to get out." And I said, as soon as your foot came outside that tub, I was doing the same thing. Right. But because you stayed inside of the tub, inside of the cold plunge, I saw you calm down. I started to calm down.
Life is like that, bro.
Yeah.
When it gets uncomfortable, what do you do? What do you do? And so I know how you going to respond.
For sure.
Because you easily could have just got out with nothing holding you back. And I'm proud of you, boy.
And I appreciate you, bro.
My brother.
Just
win. If you haven't done so, make sure you turn on your post notifications. Right there, ring that bell so that you can catch every episode. Donato, where can they catch you at?
You can catch me everywhere, baby. I'm everywhere right now. You know what I mean?
On the socials.
On the socials, man. I was getting there. Yeah. The Donato Smith. On all social media platforms, THEDONATOSMITH. Come follow me. You know, it's getting better, bigger and better.
Yeah, and if they want to get a cut,
the same link in the bio.
Oh, the link is in the bio.
The link is in the bio, but you can also visit thedonatosmith.com.
DonatoSmith.com. And if you got comments, drop them down below. This has been a great episode for all you inspiring people that want to go into cosmetology. Thank you for correcting me.
Or barbering. Go into the hair industry as a whole, or whatever profession. Yeah.
We got somebody that can help you.
For sure.
Peace.
Without a doubt.